My name is Miss L, and I am here because I am advocating for anyone who is dealing with an illness. And I just want to share my story and hope that I can help someone or motivate anyone to go in a different direction to help themselves. So let's just get started. At the age of 20, I was diagnosed with endometriosis. At the time, I didn't have a full-time job. I worked two jobs and I was just in a lot of pain. I was going from doctor to doctor, emergency room to emergency room. No one could help me. It was always, oh, there's nothing wrong. You're just having mild cramps. I wasn't getting the help that I needed. So I can recall one time I was just coming on my cycle. I was in so much pain. I started abusing pain meds. And those were just over the counters because I was really just trying to trick my mind into telling myself that I was too sleepy to focus. So I would come home and I would pass out. But that wasn't working. It's the pain started getting worse and worse and worse. So I finally had a cycle one day, no lie. I tried to get in a bathtub because I also was using heating pads, and heating pads seemed to help the pain. But this time when I got in a bathtub to try to soak up some pain on my stomach, I just started screaming. The pain was terrible. I didn't know what I was going to do. So I told my boyfriend at the time, I was like, hey, you got to get up. You got to do something. We're going to the hospital. I am not playing. So we finally get to the hospital and the doctors say, well, you have a grapefruit sized cyst on your ovary. And so that could be a little pain. So, I'm in disbelief because I'm nervous. They're telling me I have to have surgery. And I'm thinking about all these other doctors and hospitals that I went to who just told me I had mild pain and that it was nothing. So they kept me, ran some tests. We scheduled surgery for about a week later, and we decided that I did need to have some pain medicine until that time came, just to relieve what I was going through. So eventually we did do the surgery, and when we did the surgery, I had to have a cesarean. Whew. Anybody who's ever had a cesarean will tell you your confidence goes from this down to this because you got this big old scar on your stomach. I had to learn how to walk pretty much. I was walking in an L shape for a little while because I couldn't figure out what all this pain was. I wasn't used to it. And so at that time, they diagnosed me with endometriosis. They told me that it was just an illness that was mostly surrounded around this cyst. And in my mind, I thought, well, I'll get rid of the cyst and boom, I'll be ready to go. Because I do remember that my mom had dealt with some cysts, but she never discussed with me endometriosis. She never talked about it. And it makes me to believe that this is not an illness that is still known to this day. I mean, we know about it, but there's still nothing like a cure that makes us feel comfortable enough to keep our day running. So with that being said, I just kind of moved on with my life after that surgery, to be honest. I was like, well, back to my 20s. I'm trying to live my life. I'm trying to hang out with my friends. I'm trying to have a good time. But the problem is that as I started to get older, the worse the endometriosis got. So I was, again, going back to doctors, going back to specialists to try to see whatever I could do. And I was still not getting any results. So eventually I had to have another surgery. And I was just kind of like, I was going back to doctors. Doctors were even telling me, because I was missing cycles, my cycles were out of whack. And doctors were saying, well, maybe you're pregnant, but it's not showing up right now. But maybe you're pregnant and you can just come back and check it out. And just stuff like that, stuff that really wasn't helping me. So as me, I'm like anybody else. I'm probably just clueless, trying to figure this thing out, doing like they tell me, trying birth controls, getting off, trying them, getting off, seeing what else I can do. So eventually, I just kept having more and more surgery. until about 2014. I had a surgery so severe. I literally was in the bed for like half the year. I couldn't get up. When I would go up, I was really just going to go to my appointments. And at that time, my doctor was prescribing um, for me to go to a pain specialist who I call a drug dealer, because I was getting tall bottles of Motrin, anything you could think of, like hydrocodone, oxycodone. I could have used it all at that time because I was in so much pain. And I don't want to give away the medication that my doctor said, because I'm really not trying to start any other trouble outside of that. But I think a lot of people will understand what I'm saying when I say they did prescribe a chemo drug, and it works just like chemo. You stop having a cycle, and it's supposed to go in and kill the endometriomas and the endometriosis, and they're supposed to help you. And it's a shot, and it's supposed to stay in your system for about 3 months, and then you keep taking it. It wasn't a depot. So I think everybody knows what I'm talking about when I'm talking about this illness and the drug that they're trying to give to prescribe it. That sent me downhill for real. Like back pain, pelvic pain, nauseous, anxiety, depression. That list of side effects for that drug is outrageous. And I'm going to just tell you here that even though I'm talking about what we can try to do as an alternative to help us, I still deal with some side effects from that medication. Now, they may not be like a lot of women that I have seen in these support groups. My heart does go out to you all, because I do realize that you guys have it a bit worse than me, but I was where you were, believe it or not. I was awful. And I've got some pictures that I can show you that you can even see it in my face. I'm different, and I feel different, and I'm happier, and I'm stronger than I was. So I'm not here to tell you don't take your pain medicine, but I'm here to be someone to tell you that there is something else on the other side that can help. And I'm not here to say, oh yeah, this is what I did and go about my day. No, this is going to be something that I'm constantly talking about, so that someone, whoever hears me, I hope that you can just step your foot in the right direction. Because to be honest, I started learning of different alternatives back in 2014, but I was like, I'm not doing that. I like pork. I'm from the South. I love that. But the sicker I got, the more I didn't even care. I didn't even want the stuff. And it's funny, because by the time I was married and we had moved and gotten our own home, I wasn't even eating half that stuff, but I still was feeling sick. So I would say back in 2016, I just finally said, you know what? I can't do it anymore. So I started looking up and trying to figure out other alternatives, and I found some great ones. So just so you guys know, you can do other things, and I'm talking about detoxing. You can start to begin detoxing stuff out of your body, because you're not only just detoxing medication, you're detoxing sugar, you're detoxing junk that you've had in your system all along that affects you and you don't realize that it does. So along with detoxing, fasting, and maybe you can't fast right away. So start small. Fast for a couple hours and start eating at noon. And then break the fast with a smoothie or something light so that your body can accept it. And then go on to your snacks and your meals. Other things that I have tried, I'm a CBD advocate. CBD is just one of those things that just help things calm down. It's not a medication, but it's great. So I'm here for it. Other things that I have tried are sea moss. My face is freaking glowing. It helps with those digestion issues, because I mentioned in the earlier time that you're on Motrin, you're on hydrocodones, and all those things start to hold up your system. and you need something to keep everything still passing through. So the sea moss helps out wonders. I mean, it's got a list of great benefits, and ever since I've started taking it, I notice a difference every time. Like, I can tell that it's helping out with the acne on my face. I can tell that it helps my hormones, because we all know we got all these hormone issues, and it just helps with my mood. And along with the hormone issues, I hate to break it to you guys, but I had to go plant-based. But there are so many options where you can do plant-based that you guys probably won't know the difference, to be honest. I mean, they have Beyond Meats, they have different jackfruits, they have different options for everyone. Now, me, I try to stick to a more of a natural thing, where at least I'm getting some type of vegetables. So I might again begin with a smoothie, drink some tea, and then I'll start with my meals in the afternoon. But I do still try to get some type of vegetable or something that I know that I can allow my system to keep processing that food and going out just like it should. Some other things are to work on your mental. Right now is very critical. You have so much with social media, so much with gossip and entertainment. It's important for you to take time and just detox a little bit of that as well. Just take a break from it. It doesn't have to be where you're just on it all the time. But it's so true what they say about above and so below. If your mental is everywhere, your downstairs is not going to be that great either. So I just noticed that when I made all these changes to myself, that my insides started to feel a lot better. And I'm just grateful for that, because there was a time where I would just pray. I would say, God, if I'm not supposed to be here, just let me go, because the pain was so terrible. I'm trying not to get emotional, but I know that there are people out here just like me, and I know that people are dealing with it, but they don't know what the heck to do. And you have people coming at you every way, and they're telling you to try this and go vegan and try this and that, but they're not showing you how. So that's another thing that I want to do. I want to start trying to show you how. So if you like, you can continue to follow me. You can subscribe to the channel, and you also can find me on Instagram at Miss L Loves Wellness, because I do. And I try to have different options for us where these pain medicines affect us, where the food affects us, and to just be that advocate, because for so long we've been told that this illness is just, it's just your cycle. It's not that bad. Just take this and you'll be fine. I mean, employers don't even recognize it. There's not a disability plan. There's not something you can go on. And you don't realize I've had almost a total of 6 to 7 surgeries and procedures. And when I tell you, on one of them, I almost died. I saw the light, and it was not pretty. I just tried to ask God. I said, hey, listen, I love my husband. I want to be with him. Please don't take me away. But when I came back, that pain was still there. So I'm not laughing about the situation, but I'm just smiling at myself, because I see how far I came. I was so gone, you guys. I was not in a great place. And just to look at myself now and see what I've been through. I mean, again, I can show you pictures. I'm gonna look up something right now, and I'm gonna just go through some pictures with you and just show you what I went through, because you probably just wouldn't even believe it. So these are pictures of me before. Let me see if I can show you good. Okay, so me and my husband, I'm having surgery. Again, this is me. This is me. This is me. This is me at another surgery. And that's just kind of showing you like where I was and where I'm at now. So I've really taken a transition, and I hope that we can develop some type of community or some type of liaison to help with another level, because right now all I see is support groups that talk round and round about the pain and all of this, but I don't see anyone advocating for us. I don't see anyone saying, this is what I use to help me. I do hear people saying that illnesses are one thing, and you can do this to help get rid of that illness, but nothing specifically talking to people like you and I. So I just want to be that person to just step out and step on the ledge and tell you, like, pay attention to those things I talked about. I'm going to take another video. My next video is going to just be questions and answers, because I'm sure a lot of people want to know, what else are you trying? What did you follow to get there? What kind of other things do you think will help? And I will just include that right now. Another thing is, you are going to have to get up. Start by just telling yourself, I got to get out of this bed. I got to get up. And when you do that, that's your first step. Begin starting to walk. That sounds like, oh my God, now this lady started telling me to work out. But, it could be just 10 minutes. It can be 15 minutes. You'd be surprised. Just walking down the street will help so much. So getting that diet and exercise in as well is also very helpful. And I'm going to take time after this, and I'm going to explain. I'm going to go down a list of just different things that I tried, with the detoxing, with the fasting, with the exercise, like I just talked about with walking, with the plant-based, with the CBDs, because people love to throw stuff at us, and they like to say, well, just try this. And then you go out and you spend all this money, and you're back at square one. You don't know what to do. You don't know how to feel. And you're already irritated because you have hospital bills that are stacked up. You've got all other things stacked up, and you may not be able to just even afford, not even just afford, but you don't feel like it mentally. You're too tired. All you want to do is find some comfort. So I'm just here to be that person. And I hope that we develop a relationship where that you can come to me, you can tell me, and I'll be honest. I'll tell you what's going on. I'll tell you what I do and what helps me. I have people all the time, family, friends, they always ask me what I did. And I even have men ask me, and I've helped them. So I'm sure that we can work on something that helps you. And I'm sure that we can get to a place where you may be able even to help me. And believe me, I will be glad to take it. So again, I'm grateful that you're here. And I thank you for watching my video. And I hope you have a good day.